Good morning, motherfuckers. It is I, your main motherfucker, Mr. Late Night Saturday, Sleepy Church on Sunday, the sinister minister, Murky motherfucking Monday. I'd like to welcome you back to the shack. This week on the channel, the pain. But first,
you are watching the Murky Munde channel. Please like, please share, please subscribe, ring the bell for updates.
And now it's time for a walk with the witch doctor.
Hey, motherfucker, let's go for a walk. Now, I know you might be dealing with some shit, you know. You might not have, had enough money come in on your check. You know, you might have not enough fucking ramen noodles up in the motherfucker, you know. Might not have no water for no motherfucking ramen noodle. Maybe you found your dog dead underneath your couch and he done choked on your shoe. It could be all kinds of shit going on right now, really, for anybody. But, we all got problems, It ain't if you have problems, and it ain't really what your problems are in particular. It's how you handle that shit, if I can count. You know what I'm saying? You got to go and you got to grab that dead ass dog up out your couch, drag his ass out to the back, dig a fucking hole for that motherfucker. You got to go to the store and you got to stick a ramen noodles in your back pocket. Now, I'm not advocating thievery, but I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Plus, if you ain't got fucking like 10 cents for some fucking ramen, man, you got some real fucking problems, you know what I mean? Maybe it is better for you to get caught stealing that shit so you can get 3 squares. But what I'm saying is this, we all got problems, If problems was money, that's what I'm trying. I wish it was like that, But some people got money problems. Money is an issue. Some people got too much money. Can you imagine that shit? I ain't never had too much. I've had plenty of not enough. But I ain't never had too much. I like to see what it is one day to have too fucking much, Because then, that's how you see the true character, motherfucker. Because if you got too much and you see somebody else with some fucking problems, you should help. You should help somebody. Because we all got problems. Some people got problems with their love. Whew. Man, love can be a problem sometimes. Sometimes, all times. Sometimes you see some things that make you look backwards and see the stars in your back. And all you see in front of you is the darkness. That sometimes love can hurt. But you gotta look, you gotta find your way. You see the fucking light. You walk to that motherfucker. And keep it pushing. One of these days, ain't none of us gonna have no problems no more. So, you just keep on doing what you need to do to get your shit the way you need to get your shit. That's what I'm talking about. Amen.
And now it's time for Surviving the Pain.
Welcome back. This week on the channel, we're going to talk about the pain. Now, I don't necessarily mean the pain you might feel if you were to say stub your pinky toe on the foot of your bed trying to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I'm not talking about the kind of pain you would feel you got a paper cut. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about the kind of pain you would feel if you were to say to get tattooed or pierced, you know, or the kind of pain you feel if you got a hammer in your hand and you nail and hit your thumb, you know, not that kind of pain. I'm talking about the place where I grew up. It was called the Champagne Apartments. Now, let me give you a little history about what's going on here. In that, it was in the early 70s, and my mama and daddy, you know, had some shit going on, and my mama moved to these apartments. Now, it was 2 apartment complexes, but they were 1 apartment complex altogether in general. But you could see the difference between the one and the other. Now, in the front, those apartments were called Champagne Apartments. And as such, Champagne, they were really nice apartments. Now, in the back, where we lived, it was called Colonial Gardens. Now, let me tell you, there was nothing garden about it, and the only colonial thing about it is that that's where they kept most niggas and shit, was back there. Now, back there was, you know, all kinds of people lived back there, you know, mostly black, mostly Puerto Rican. There was a couple of other little things here and there, you know, every now and then when the white people couldn't really move up into the Champagne part, you know, you see a family or 2, you know, come on back into the gardens and shit. Now, basically, we were, you know, cast in this place where it was, at the time, we thought of it as the ghetto. We thought of it as the slums. Let me just tell you that this place was in Williamstown, New Jersey. Okay. And so it was at a time where, you know, where this is that you're close to Philly, you're close to Atlantic City, you're not too far from New York City, and, you know, only a couple, 2-3 hours away from Washington, you know, hour or so away from Baltimore, you know. So you're in a spot where, you know, you can get a lot of, you know where it is now because it's kind of blowing up around there in that spot around in that place now. But back then, it was the slums. You know, it was a terrible place. There were other terrible places in New Jersey, such as like Camden and stuff that was up north. You know, I got some stories to tell your ass about Camden, but not today. We can talk about the pain, not today. But it was terrible, and it was like, you know, being thrown into a place where you had to survive. Even as a kid, you had to survive. Every day there was somebody out there getting their ass kicked over some stupid shit, somebody losing their tooth over something, somebody getting their bike stolen, you know, and then it was just, you know, ghetto as hell anyway. So people's mamas be out there beating kids' asses and shit, and people's mamas be fighting people's mamas out there. You know, the cops were always around. There was all kinds of shit going on in this place. And it was just a terrible, terrible place to grow up. But it was the best place to grow up. I would go move in, I would have it do all over again, and I would just tell my little self, yeah, this shit sucks like hell, but it will mold you into something that forever you will have the strength, the internal and intestinal fortitude to know that you can survive anywhere and that nobody can put anything on you other than the shit that you have been through in this place. It was a proving ground for kids. And when I say even for kids, I mean, like, I moved in this place, I must have been maybe 7 or 8 years old, you know, and by the time I got to where I moved out of there, I had seen everything just in that little area. Now, the buildings were alphabetical, so there was A building, B building, C building, and they went along starting from the Champagne part all the way around through the Colonial Gardens part, and we lived in our building. Now, I had Puerto Rican friends that lived in this building over here. It was predominantly Puerto Rican people who lived over there. And then it was, there was an old black lady lived over there. Her name was Miss Critty. She used to sing in the summertime, cool lemonade made in the shade. She had us kids out there entrepreneurial early out there learning how to make lemonade and sell. That's not, we was, just great time. Plus, out in the front, there was this huge cherry tree. And when I say huge cherry tree, I mean, if you climb to the top of this cherry tree, you would easily be 50, 60 feet off the ground. That's how big this cherry tree was. I mean, there'd be times where the kids would be up in this cherry tree just eating cherry. There'd be 20 kids up in this thing eating cherries. Now, all of our mamas told us never to eat that stuff because we all came home, with the cherry shits real bad, but they were delicious. It was the best. We always would be over there. Now, this place, like I said, was just a proving ground and so many things happened there. I'm going to tell you motherfuckers stories about the pain on a number of occasions throughout this show. But today, I want to talk to you about one thing in particular to give you kind of an idea of how we were as kids. Now, one of the things that we used to do growing up in this neighborhood, everybody knew everybody. I'm not going to drop no names except this one particular name right here because it's pertinent to this story. And basically, just so that you understand is that, there was this game, neighborhoods have games and stuff. And there was this game in our neighborhood we used to play called Huckle, Buckle, Beanstalk. Now, the object of this game is that there is one person who has a strap, a belt, right? And they go hide the belt. And then all the other kids go and look for the belt, right? And then whoever finds the belt gets to whip all the kids' asses until they run back to base. You know what I mean? So, like, say I hide the belt, right? And I got 15, 20, sometimes 30 kids. And then we'd be playing out there late at night, past the time. Most of our mamas be telling when the street lights come on, your ass come in. Shit, we still be out there, snuck out the window or something, came out there still playing. Till late at night, we'd be out there playing, beating each other's ass with these straps. But basically the idea, like I go hide the belt and then the kids are out there looking for it. And then one kid finds it and he just starts whacking, chasing us, Even me, because now, I got to get back because now he found the belt. Now his job now is to then hide the belt. Now we played this and, some people think, it's just small. We played this and you can hide the belt anywhere throughout the apartment complex. So you had kids running through buildings all over the place. You'd have a group of 5 kids over here looking for the belt, a group of 10 kids over there looking for, there'd be so many kids. And then, the guy who hid the belt, he's all about hotter, colder. So, it kind of helps let people know where the belt is, right? Forgot to mention that, but that's kind of how it goes. I figured you might get that. If you ever played, you probably still got some welts from some of them games. But, right, so now as you get, hotter, it starts to draw more kids, and now you got everybody, and then the person finds the belt. You know what I mean? And we played this all the time, you know what I mean? And it was weird because, it was one of those things where I could tell you for sure that at this time of life in living, we all got our ass beat by our mamas, and the belt was the least of the weapons. That's why I guess it became a toy for this game. But, you think that as many kids would get their ass beat every night. I know me in particular, we wouldn't be out there playing a game where you'd be getting your ass whipped. But, we was training. You know what I mean? We was training for that. So mama, she catch your ass out there at the light, okay, when she coming out with a strap. And everybody be laughing, that's what it is, right? Well, anyway, so one of these summers comes along and this family moves in and they have two kids. Now, one of the kids is really kind of young and we can't really play. He's not really part of the scene. But then there's this other kid who really wasn't a kid. His name was Roro. That's what we called him, so that's what I'm going to call him. And I'm just going to say it by the terms that we used then. Roro was retarded. Roro was about 18 years old, but he had the mind of like a little kid, like, 6, 7 year old, right? And so actually he kind of fit in with all of us in the fact that he was big enough to play with us, but he was also not, on point, smart like that. So, we can kind of control and he was big, he was huge, and he was strong. Like he could pick up one of us kids and throw us half a football field. You know what I mean? And so here we are, we're out here playing one night and, we're equal opportunity. Roro might be retarded, but we don't give a shit. We played football with this fool. And let me tell you, that is not the game you want. You want Roro on your side when you out there playing football on the field, because you give him the ball and he tries to tackle you. So no defense, he's trying. Anyway, equal opportunity. We're out there, Hucklebuckle Beanstalk, Roro's out there. We're playing just like everybody else. Roro understands just like anybody else, hot and cold. And on this day, Roro finds the belt. He'd never found the belt before. We played with him a number of occasions, but although he understands the nature of the game, and although he could, play with us, he was often a fucking target because, although he was huge, he was just excited about the whole thing, so he would often forget to fucking run, and he was big, so he was easy to, and he would cry and stuff, and it was funny because he would laugh, he had a good time. He was one of us. You know what I mean? And so he finally found the belt, and everybody was just around in shock. Whoa, and he went to work. He had been dreaming days and days of playing this game with us to one day find that belt. And when he did, let me tell you, and let me tell you, so it was the worst beating that most of us ever got, because 90% of us didn't have a father living with us, and Roro was the closest thing to a man beating our ass out in that motherfucker. Miss you, Roro. And now it's time for your horoscope. Aries. Look, this is what I'm just going to say. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Your hard-headed ass gonna do it anyway. Taurus. Well, you know what? Just fucking go ahead and buy it for yourself, because them motherfuckers ain't gonna buy it for you. Gemini. You talking to me? You talking to me? I'm the only one standing here. You must be talking to me. Cancer. Look, I know it's kind of makes you crazy dealing with all those emotions and shit, but you're crazy anyway. Leo. Don't you think it's time to clean up that fucking litter box, motherfucker? It's starting to smell a little bit like cat piss in this bitch. Virgo. You should probably go take another bath. Libra. Damn, this shit ain't fucking fair. Still on this motherfucker. Scorpio. Smell my finger. Sagittarius. A few more drinks. Few more fights. Capricorns! Hey, just so you know, I know you motherfuckers love in a way that most motherfuckers can't understand, but y'all could be some hateful, vindictive motherfuckers too. Y'all love that shit. Pisces! You need to wash them feet, motherfucker. Aquarius! Hey, let me just say, when it rains, it pours. And now it's time for joke of the motherfucking week. Well, back when we can go out in public and shit, I was walking around in the park, right? And I come along, I see these 3 old ladies sitting on the park bench. So I go over and sit next to them on the end, and I whip my thing out. Now, the first lady had a stroke, the second old lady had a stroke, and, well, the third old lady, she couldn't reach. Well, it's about that time for y'all to go ahead and get the hell up on out of here. But I'm going to send you off with a blessing. Go ahead and get some fire on the sage right here. Get it going real good. Smudge you motherfuckers real quick. May your body be free of all stupidity and ignorance and dumb shit. In the name of the Almighty Creator. And he said, behold, I send you out, as sheep amongst the wolves. Now go forth and be righteous, motherfuckers. Thank you, motherfuckers, for watching the channel. Tune in next week. Another Murky Munde.
Thank you for watching the Murky Munde channel, motherfucker. Now come on back next week, baby.